beautiful, beautiful, magnificent human beings. Look at the lot of you. Just look at you. Get a mirror quickly and observe your magnificent self. You outstanding human being. This is my review of the Mandalorian episode 1 season 3. The start was confusing for me because I thought the beginning was a flashback to maybe one of the current Mandalorians being sworn into their league and their family. The part I didn't like was when this huge alligator looking, crocodile looking beast thing had a hard shell on its back, kind of like a turtle. Can you imagine? When I'm recording, they always want to send message. Always. You people, it's like you don't have respect for yourself, you know? No respect. Anyway, pardon the intrusion. So when she was doing the ritual, she kind of stopped and had a hand in the air like, I can sense something with the force. She could just sense that something was coming. And as soon as she pulled the boy away that she was performing the ritual on, you guys didn't know this thing was here all this time? In such a big bed of water, you didn't know? And now there's no one performing no ritual next to that area where at any given moment, this thing could just unleash itself. It was huge, as in it could just yam up human beings one time. I'm not going next to no water to be doing baptism where that, this is how I'll be looking at the water. Yes, okay, keep signing me, yeah, yeah, ancestors, okay, pour the water, quick. That's like, I was really surprised that they didn't have men on guard. Like if it came out, they would just shoot it with this one rail gun or solar cannon beam or something. They were just blasé about it. When the thing came out, it was like, oh my god, it ate like at least 3 people. I think 3, maybe I'm wrong, maybe 2, but I know it ate at least for sure 2, for sure. It crunched one guy one time. One time. I'm like, god damn. It didn't feel like they were a tactical force or very strong, formidable team. First of all, why are you even next to this thing's location of chilling? At this point, you practically went next to his doorstep and said, are you hungry? And then some of them finally decided to jump up with their jetpacks and then landed on the back, which is a hard shell, by the way, and then put some detonation devices and bombs and then flew off. And there was a nice shot when one of the guys flew out, the whole helmet perspective point of view. But then after all that, nice visual looking assault, it didn't even dent the thing. And I was like, are you guys taking the piss? Have you observed this creature? This thing is huge. And there's no way you're denting its hard back. You're flying on its back. Its back was like rock hard. That's what she said. How would you fly on its back? You guys are not looking real tough and smart right now, especially smart. With all your weapons and stuff, you look like you're about to get bashed up. And each time it was, hitting people side by side, using tails to knock someone who was already flying, then use, I think, its arm to stomp on the floor. Somebody even, I think, tried to hit it from the side.
Oh, daddy.
Then it did what alligators do, the twirl underneath and rolled underneath its belly and came back up again. I was like, you guys are not doing a good job right now. Mandalorian, my backside. The one thing I was expecting was after the attempt on its hard shell, which was stupid, they would all communicate with each other, forget the shell, go for the mouth or for the underbelly. Because we all know, sometimes those kind of creatures, the underbelly is their most vulnerable parts or their neck. But this thing is so huge. So you have to be more tactical and smart. I was surprised that there was no heavy artillery, heavy machine guns, nothing. Only one of them had them, but the bullets were like... If you were shooting someone who had the same Mandalorian Beskar armor on, or like a Boba Fett character, yeah, you'd kill him. Or maybe like one of the stormtroopers, yeah, that heavy machine gun would deal damage. But against this huge thing, I would have lobbied all those grenades that I put on his back into his mouth. It didn't keep his mouth closed. It's like he came in, your boy had his mouth open all the time. I was like, yo, throw that shit inside his mouth and tell it to shut up. All this throwing stuff on the back, where the one point I can look at the body and go, no, we shouldn't attack the shell on his back. We can go for the neck because it had tough skin, but you can see it's okay to still do damage there. The back is a no-no because you could look at it and go, no, not the back. No, thank you. Do we decide? Maybe swim underwater, go for the belly, but not the back. Why? Because I don't want to waste my grenade, you idiots. Go for the belly, go for the neck, and then maybe the mouth. But it had its mouth open a lot of times. After it ate those 2 people, I'd be like, you know what? When it eats another guy, just fling it in. Don't worry about it. Just we find more Mandalorians, fling them in, fling it in, fling all the grenades in. So that part was, had me thinking that this is making him look stupid as well and silly, because my whole brain couldn't wrap around why you're in close proximity in the water and that thing lives there. It's not like it just landed there yesterday and they weren't aware of it while they were sleeping and woke up in the morning and all of a sudden, oh God, the giant alligator, where did this thing come from? Nah. They've lived there long enough to know something else bigger than y'all live here. So y'all need to be careful and do this, water ritual real quick. Or can we do it on the sand? Yeah, we could do it on the sand. We ain't got to do it right next to the water, damn it. Then they did this like grapple hook thing from each of their gauntlets on either side of the neck of the creature. And I was like, this is your second attempt. This is after the grenades on the back. First of all, there's no myth saying you guys are force sensitive. And secondly, you're superhuman. So how can you now use your grapple hook? Then Mandalorian, then what's his name? Comes in flying with Baby Yoda in the spaceship, and then I think he shoots like two blasts with the spaceship to the side belly of the alligator, and then it's dead. If this guy didn't come with the spaceship, what would you guys have done? Because the current path you lot followed was grenades on its back, you wasted it. Then this little heavy machine gun that was shooting bullets like this did nothing. So Din Djarin ends up on another planet, looking for High Magistrate to ask his help for the android that self-terminated in season 2, I think. Yeah, he revives the android, but the android goes back to his default programming by whoever hired him in the past to kill Baby Yoda.
Finish him.
And then this android falls down, and it obviously feels like a nod to the Terminator 1 movie. Following the programming to terminate Grogu, Din Djarin was just there shooting, and he was missing every shot. And I just felt, how can you guys come back with season 3? People have been waiting and drooling for this season. And your first episode is not even meh, it's questionable. So very poor choices, man. Especially when you want to put on screen that this is why the Mandalorians are so formidable. I said this is a rubbish way to introduce the first episode of season 3. There were pirates on the scene. They killed everyone except one guy, and then they let that pirate go. I was like, well, we both know he's supposed to be in the show for a lot longer. And since his squad got killed, he has to go and find another squad, get back at them, and he's angry at this time. You took up my whole platoon. I'm coming back for revenge, and I've told my boss. It's typical. It's like one of those mediocre characters. Talks smack, but still is like, wait till you see my boss kind of thing. He's not his own person per se. And then it's even the scene where the place where they normally used to drink before has been turned into a school. And it's all this, not even typical bad guy trope. It was just a stupid bad guy trope. Okay, but I want a drink, so serve my drink now.
Don't you know who we are?
Come on, Vane. That'll be enough of that.
What's wrong with you? They just told you it's like going to a strip bar, or going to a place that used to be a strip bar is now a kindergarten school, and you see children inside the building. You're like, yeah. I mean, when I used to come here, I had titties and booty all over the place, even the daytimes. Can I come here and see some titties? Nah, it's a school now, fam. It's a school. Ain't no titties and booty here. Then dip. You should have dipped. To write a character like that, it didn't make sense to me. You used to come here to see titties. There are no boobies for you no more. This place is now a school. Plus, the guy who used to watch titties with you is behind you. Talk to him. He practically said, don't worry, we'll go to my office. Indirectly, we'll get some titties and booty for you to watch. He said, no, I want to see some titties and booties here. In the school? You can't just make a character just say dumb things like that and we're supposed to be like, yeah, I can't wait to get his ass kicked. I'm like, no, he's stupid. Can you remove the stupidness in the character? Just have him say, oh, y'all turned this titty bar into a school? Say, yeah, you know what it is, man? Trying to, step up the civilization in our community. All right, cool. Where can I get my private viewing? Follow me to my office. Smooth, simple. But he said, no, I want you serving my drink. You serve me here. This isn't smart writing. I can't even be angry at the character. I'm more angry at the writing than the character because the character doesn't make sense. I've already got low expectations for this season. The first 2 seasons of The Mandalorian was spicy! In fact, the first season I fell in love with instantly. Even though some people didn't like the whole gaming feel to it. Every episode felt like a quest. I'm going to go to this guy, get a mission, go to that guy, get a mission. In terms of the standard way of how stories go, many people don't like it. And I understand it. I definitely do. But because I'm a gamer, it just feels natural to me. Just to watch a show do that. I'm not trying to sit down here and say it's a very genius way of writing. Nah, it's just, okay, this is what we're doing. Cool. So you mean every time he goes and gets a particular task done, he gets an upgrade to his armor till his whole armor is now best car? Cool. I'm cool with that. In fact, that's one of the reasons that made me feel this thing needs a game. I think they could have done. Till this day, I still think somebody should jump on this thing and make a dope game. In terms of the Star Wars games that are out now so far, especially the most recent one, Star Wars Jedi, I can't remember what it's called. And I'm not surprised because I didn't like the game. I tried playing it twice. It didn't work for me. The previous ones, Star Wars Force Unleashed, the first and second one, magnificent. These days, any Star Wars games, for me personally, I don't want any lightsaber force sensitive. The Mandalorian feel and vibe and this whole Western kind of look and feel, I love that. Even putting me in charge of a city or a town where you're looking after people and you're on different missions and side quests. Main story, of course, was side quests, and the more quests you do, the more credits and rewards you get, and you can upgrade your armor, you can get new gear, new weapons, you can even customize your current weapons. You don't have to buy new weapons all the time. I think this thing is ripe for a great game.
Daddy, chill.
A great game. You do it open world like Horizon Zero Dawn. Busy though. Not just open world and bare and barren. Busy. And then maybe planet hopping. These days, I don't feel those things are too ambitious because you people are out here, squandering resources on PS5, and if you can put money and funding towards those consoles that are getting more expensive these days and games getting more expensive, you better sit down, shut up, and spend time on making games very realistic, and there's a word I'm looking for, I can't find it right now, where the ideas we think of don't feel far-fetched. If you're going to make a game where a character can fly to different planets and each planet has its own activities, its own ecosystem, its own day and night cycle, its own vegetation, animals, creatures, and its own vehicles, so many things you could do, and it's doable. So I don't understand why people haven't jumped on it yet. It just doesn't make sense to me. Sony will release games annually, and I'm only buying 2 because the rest don't appeal to me. Anyway, that's my little take on The Mandalorian so far. I'm worried about the whole season. So I'm keeping my expectations low. The way they started, it felt very bad. It just made those guys look stupid. It made the Mandalorian himself look stupid when he was fighting the machine. You couldn't shoot a machine in his head with your one blaster. The machine wasn't even like speed running like Sonic. It was just crawling. No legs, crawling. First is the stupid scene with this huge alligator. Then it's him missing the shot with this android. Then it's the pirates. I'm like, come on, boys. Guys. Everyone's been waiting for this. And this is how you deliver it. Y'all are taking the piss, man. They might change, don't get me wrong, episode 2 and the next episodes might just knock my socks off. I hope that happens. But I highly doubt that based on how they started this season. But yeah, anyways, if you've seen it, let me know what you think. I have been your one and only host,
the Cosmic Jedi, signing out.